Done. Today we're going to talk about, actually, we're not going to talk about it, we're going to practice identifying the four different categories of words when we're looking at sentences. And the reason we do this is so that we can get the gist of what's happening. If we don't know what the words mean, then we can at least kind of identify what their function is, and that makes us understand the gist of the sentence a little bit more. So, sorry about that. So let's start with this first sentence. Los niños pequeños juegan bajo la lluvia. We're going to highlight in blue all the things that we talk about. And if you remember, the things that we talk about are called sustantivos. And these are our nouns and our pronouns, the things we talk about. So what are the things in the sentence here? Los niños pequeños juegan bajo la lluvia. So niños is the subject. Almost always you have subject, verb, and then something else. So the subject of this is going to be the word niños. And that means children. The little children are playing in the rain. All right? What are they playing in? The rain, la lluvia. So these two things are our sustantivos. These are the things that we're talking about, rain and kids. Now the next word that words that we're going to pay attention to are called atributivos. Atributivos describe attributes or descriptions. They're describing words. We're going to use green for this because they give life to the sentence. So los niños pequeños juegan. The most important word in the sentence is, in this case, it's going to be niños because that's who we're talking about. That's the subject. Who or what we're talking about is the subject. The next most important word is what that subject is doing. In this case, juegan is the word that describes the action. In this case, it's a verb. And there's one more in this sentence, and it's pequeños, because pequeños describes niños. So here's my subject, here's my verb. This is an adjective. So subject and verb, these are our nouns. I'm sorry, our subject is a noun, and pronouns. Atributivos are verbs and adjectives, just like I've shown up there in the green. Okay, so now we're going to look at the connecting words, and we're going to use orange for that. Is that orange or yellow? Whatever that color is right there, we're going to use. So los niños juegan bajo la lluvia. So what our connecting words do is they create relationships between either words or ideas. In this case, we have two nouns and we have a verb. Niños, lluvia, juegan. So if we have a word like lluvia, we need to figure out what it relates to. All right? In this case, in the rain or under the rain. That's where they're playing. So here, lluvia describes this verb. So that's going to be, well, I'll get to that in just a second. What word connects rain to playing? It is bajo. So beneath. So the little children are playing beneath the rain. So this is our connecting word. So we've got a conectivo, a sustantivo, sustantivo, atributivo, atributivo. And then lastly, we have words that point to the nouns. And these are our definitivos. We got conectivos. And these are prepositions, excuse me, and conjunctions. And there's relative pronouns too, but we're not going to get into those. Conjunctions. So prepositions connect words, and that's kind of the situation that we have up here. Bajo connects lluvia with juegan. So it's a preposition. There's no verb after bajo, which a conjunction requires. All right. So the words that point to the nouns are la, which means the, and los, which means the. And those are our definitivos. So words like el, la, los, las, un, una, tres. These are the words that quantify or limit the nouns. Okay, next sentence. Let's go with our sustantivos first, because they're the most important. Ana compró una bicicleta roja para su hija. All right, here we have three sustantivos. Obviously, Ana is a thing. She's a person. Bicicleta is a thing. It's a bicycle. And hija is a thing. It's a daughter. So, Ana compró una bicicleta. She bought a bike, a red bike, for her daughter. All right, here we have a very typical sentence setup. If you look, we have a subject, which is here. We got a verb. We've got an object. She bought what? A bicycle. That's our direct object. And then we have para su hija. This is a prepositional phrase describing whom. So we've got a phrase. Very, very typical setup. But we have our three sustantivos, Ana, bicicleta, and hija. So now I'm going to find the life-giving words, and these are the descriptive words. So what did she do? Compró. So that's our action. That's the description of the action she's doing. Ana compró una bicicleta. What kind of bicicleta? Roja. All right, so those are our describing words, our atributivos. What are our connecting words? Well, una bicicleta, una is a pointing word. Su is a pointing word, which daughter, her daughter. But para is a word that connects daughter with bicicleta. All right? Well, it could be bicicleta or compró. But this is what the connecting word is. It connects hija with either bicicleta or compró. I would probably say compró. So this phrase here describes that verb. So that's an adverbial phrase. Okay. And we have one more, actually two more words, and these are our pointing words, our definitivos, define which one we're talking about. Una bicicleta, a bicycle, su hija, her daughter. Ana bought a bicycle, or a red bicycle, for her daughter. There you go. Easy peasy. Let's do another one. Este café caliente es perfecto para el invierno. Este café caliente es perfecto para el invierno. Here we have two nouns. We have café and we have invierno. This hot coffee is perfect for the winter. Okay, our description words. Caliente. Perfecto. Okay, here we're faced with a little bit strange situation because we have a verb. In English, we call these linking verbs. Oops. We call these linking verbs. In actuality, they're called copulas because they basically equate whatever this is that follows the verb with this. So this equals that. Equals. Let's erase some of this. So linking verb copula. So copula serves actually as a conectivo since we're equating this with this. So we're going to call that a connecting word, es. And there's one more connecting word. Do you think you know what it is? Winter needs to be connected to another word, in this case, perfect. So winter with perfect, para el invierno. Muy bien. And our pointing words, este and el, this coffee, the winter. And we're going to eliminate this one just for sake of time, but we'll do this one. Nuestros amigos llegaron tarde a la fiesta. Our friends arrived late to the party. Okay. Two things that we're talking about, two sustantivos. Amigos, our friends, and you guessed it, fiesta. Okay. What are our description words? Llegaron, they arrived, and tarde, late. Our connecting words, no, nuestros defines which ones, so that's a pointing word. La fiesta, la is pointing to fiesta, so a connects fiesta with llegaron. So again, we have an adverbial phrase there. And then we have our pointing words, which are nuestros and la. Okay, so that's how we practice identifying what the function of each word is. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Tomorrow we'll figure out, I don't know, I'm not sure what we'll talk about. Maybe sustantivos, we'll dive into that a little bit more.